Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. It has been announced today, reported by many sites, that Patty Jenkins is finally signed on to write, produce, and direct Wonder Woman 2. That is fantastic. She is the highest paid female director right now, and it can't be any more big than actually doing the biggest, the largest, the most fantastic heroine in comic book hero history, Wonder Woman. Can't be more proud. That is awesome. Congratulations, Patty Jenkins. We know Wonder Woman 2 is going to be just as fantastic as Wonder Woman 1. I've always had these conversations on message boards, on my own YouTube channel, and with friends about how dark Superman is in Man of Steel, and some elements of how dark Wonder Woman is in this interpretation. And granted, a lot of people love Wonder Woman. They see her as a hopeful being. They don't see too much of that in Superman in Man of Steel. But I want to always argue, and I tried my best to put in the evidence, to put in my own feelings and my thoughts about this, is that Wonder Woman and Superman are just as hopeful and bright characters you actually see in the comic books. They are just planted within a dark world, and it makes it seem like they're doing actions that are darker than their comic book counterparts. Their situation, their surroundings, their environment, the story that revolves around this dark drama is the reason why they look like they're dark characters, but they're not. They're exactly the same characters as they are in the comic book characters. Now, just to recap, we all know in Wonder Woman, she goes against Ares. Ares, who sees mankind as being dark. The humans are very evil. They are chaotic creatures, and they should be destroyed. This world belongs to the gods. Wonder Woman sees the goodness in people, the goodness of mankind, even though she walks through the darkness and the evilness of the worst of mankind during this World War I era. But she sees all the love and the good that it can become through Steve Trevor. Superman sees the same thing. Yes, he had both fathers. One father knew about the darkness of mankind, knew about the evilness of mankind, how the worst part of mankind, and to protect his own son, he wants to protect him against that evil by trying to hide him away. Jor-El, his real father, knows that there is some hope to this world, that this world is still young. It can be taught. It can see Superman as a beacon, can see Kal-El as a beacon of hope and strive towards a goodness. But as you know, the world seems more like how Jonathan Kent sees it, and it's very hard for Superman, Kal-El, to try and save it. He's done multiple savings. He's trying to do his very best. He acts exactly like his comic book character. It's just that the world around him doesn't seem to want to accept him, and that creates a flaw, because when audience watches this film and who cannot see that this Superman is the actual bright, light, hopeful character within the comics, they view him as different because they don't want to trust their eyes. They don't want to accept that mankind, this is the worst of mankind. They don't want to accept that Zack Snyder actually sees through you and sees that you have to look at this world that Kal-El, this world that Diana Prince is in, is reality. This is what the worst of mankind can be, and this is their trials and tribulations through this, the worst of mankind can be, and try to stay ahead of it and do every single thing that they can possibly do to save it, even through the ugliness of humankind. The paranoias, the evilness, the untrustworthiness is actually manifested in two characters in Batman v Superman. One in Batman, in Bruce Wayne himself, and the other Lex Luthor. Now, Lex Luthor, he always sees himself as a powerful character. He's went up the ranks, he's rich, he can get anything he wants, and he sees Kal-El, who is a god among men. He views him as something really powerful, and he states that if God is all powerful, it cannot be all good. And if God is good, he cannot be all powerful. He really truly believes in that faith. So he, as human, represents the worst of humankind, who cannot trust in a figure that is not man, is not human, and is incredibly powerful, more powerful than humans, more stronger than humans. That represents Kal-El represents something that human beings cannot achieve. And if human beings, Lex Luthor feels, if human beings cannot achieve that, they cannot be trusted. They cannot be ruled under something. Human beings has to be superior and step out on top. That's what he truly believes. And if he cannot be on top, then everything above there must be destroyed. Have his own race be the dominant species, while Kal-El is destroyed, metahumans all destroyed, because we have to protect ourselves. He cannot trust. He went as far as to create Doomsday. It kind of symbolizes like a nuclear bomb. They're creating something that will actively try to destroy themselves. And Superman, even though he's not part of Earth, he's willing to sacrifice himself for mankind's mistakes. Lex Luthor made Doomsday out of his own hatred towards Superman, but recklessly creating a weapon that could destroy his own race. Batman also has those almost exact same feelings, because there's 1% chance, if there's even 1% chance that Superman could destroy the world, he will do it. He will have to stop him. He will have to stop all metahumans. All humans have to stick together. We cannot trust him. Bruce Wayne, Batman, has forgotten, because of he's enveloped with rage. He cannot think past and beyond the hatred and his past with his own parents that were killed, the crimes that he's seen, his own sidekick that got killed. When he sees Kal-El destroy the human city that he loves, the metropolis, Gotham City, these represent mankind, and he sees an alien from nowhere that is so much more powerful than human beings destroy our world, so they cannot be trusted. I cannot trust that this person can contain the power that he holds. I cannot trust that he'll be responsible enough to and be a responsible figure in society. I have to destroy him. But because of that Martha moments, he sees that there is humanity within this person. This person has feelings. He is much like a human being. He has a mother. He has a human person who loves him. This is something that Batman forgot about. This is something that Batman was trying to protect ever since he became Batman, and he lost sight of that. But seeing that happen, that Martha moment, he brought him back, kicked him out of it, and brought him back to being the hero that he should be. You got that symbolic nature where you have that part at the beginning where Bruce Wayne as a kid, he starts lifting up towards the sky, towards the bright light. And I think that was foreshadowing about this movie. What he sees in that moment where he decided to become Batman, he is reaching that moment once again after the Martha moment. After Superman kills Doomsday, sacrifices himself, he showed hope within Batman. He thrusted hope back onto mankind. He showed mankind that you don't have to be the worst part of your world. You don't have to act like the worst part of humankind. You can be better. And then whatever happens in Wonder Woman 2, whatever made Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, not care to save mankind anymore, has changed by this point when Batman v Superman. After she sees a true hero sacrifice himself, seeing that there is goodness in the world to save, she picks up the shield and she picks up the suit. She goes out and fights for mankind again. And you see that at the end of Wonder Woman, where it's the present day. She's literally jumping out in London, and you know at that point that is where the Justice League trailer starts. She stops the bank heist right at that point. Alright guys, what did you think about my thoughts on how these two heroes, Wonder Woman and Superman, actually are pretty good representations of their comic book parts? It's just that they're thrusted into a dark world of reality, the worst part of humankind ever possible, when they try to tell a story on how they would react to our world. Do you think the same way as I do, or do you have to argue against it? I accept all kinds of answers. Please comment down below and let's talk about it more. I love to discuss Batman v Superman over and over. I think there's so much there that could be talked about. There's so much there. There's so much information there that can be pulled apart. That's why I truly love Zack Snyder's takes on movies. He seems to have a lot more depth in them. Alright, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.